The University of Stirling has quite a distinct reputation in ageing and dementia, which derived from the formation of this centre, which is the Dementia Services Development Centre.
And that's been going since the 1980s, and it's been providing training for carers, but also looking at how to design environments so people live well with dementia.
It came about because one of our professors recognised that the built environment had an impact on some of the symptoms that we see of people living with dementia. That can be agitation or aggression, disorientation, even continence can be impacted on by the built environment. So you're trying to design an environment that prompts them and supports them.
So we've been doing a lot, not just of research, but looking at how we apply that research. So we see the Dementia Centre very much as translating our research into practice or into policy.
We work with individuals, we work with other charities, we work with other universities, and we'll have organisations that will consult with us on very large-scale projects, from designing buildings to designing products to designing services.
Our mission for people living with dementia, as well as people who are ageing, is really to keep people living lives with quality, with dignity, with respect. And it's important that we have proper care and support, not just for the person living with dementia, but for the carers.
It can be quite horrendous. You become a non-person at times, because everything that you do is for their needs. So you put everything into their needs and not your own. And unless you understand these things, it's very, very depressing when you're just sitting there not knowing where to go and where to turn.
We know through the research that quite often people will be admitted into care, in part because the care partner or the spouse is struggling at home. And so if we're able to build care support structures and infrastructure within the home that supports both the care partner and the person living with dementia, then we will see fewer people being admitted into care earlier in the disease progression.
It's very fractured, the support. I had a big problem with that. I'd applied for a bungalow or a flat with a wet room very early on, and we got it 6 weeks before he would then moved into a home. 3 years I waited in that. I would not have needed carers, and when I did, if I'd had a wet room, I could have managed. So we need to put a lot of these aids in sooner, because then we can keep them at home a lot longer, and in the long term it's going to save money.
So ultimately there are economic benefits, there are social benefits and there are health benefits. But there is, I believe, a need for a conversation nationally that destigmatises the diagnosis and a one-stop shop for people to get access to all the information that they need when they need it.
I'm hoping that that's what's going to happen with the research from the university. That it's talking to all these different people so that you can then look and seek for the help and the assistance that you really feel that's required at that time.
Our centre has online resources to family members and care partners, and we have a series of online training events specifically to support care partners of people living with dementia. So it's really about building capacity and increasing awareness and knowledge.
We want to make sure that this is something that is accessible to anyone, whatever circumstances they may be in. So huge challenges, but there are exciting opportunities out there for the future to enable people to live well.